Hey, what's up everyone? Game Dad here, and today we are talking controllers, specifically third-party controllers, more specifically ones that are in a pro controller kind of format. And today we are talking about this one very specifically. This is the Nixie Master P1 wireless PC controller. And as you can see here on the box, it is not just PC, but also Switch, iOS, Android. And that is because this can do actually Bluetooth, and it also has a dongle for 2.4 gigahertz. Now, what is cool about this controller? Well, a lot of stuff. And I do actually have two minor complaints regarding the controller, but we'll get to those a little bit later. First off, the form factor of this controller. As you can see, it looks like pretty much any kind of pro controller or anything that you would ever typically see. I mean, it has a standard kind of Xbox style stick layout. Same thing with, basically any kind of third-party controller you're gonna find. It's got that basic layout. And honestly, that's fine. It's a very common layout to have. Now, let's talk about some things that make this one special. Well, first off, it's got a really nice grip to it. Very nice, actually. And on the back here, you can notice there are a couple of buttons. Now, what is cool about these buttons is you can turn them on and they click, or you can turn them off. They don't move at all, so they blend into the actual grip of the controller, which is very nice. Something we'll get into just a little bit later in the video too, because I want to know how they did it, is actually with the triggers right here. These are Hall Effect analog triggers. Very cool. Everyone loves a good Hall Effect. Same thing with the sticks. They are Hall Effect sensors. That means no drift or anything like that. And with the analog triggers, that makes them super, super accurate. But here's the thing that's cool that I have never seen on these before. They are Hall Effect analog triggers, or if you move the switches, they become actual buttons, or like button triggers. And I don't know how they do that. So I'm going to end up cracking this thing open because I want to see how they are doing that. Is it just moving the buttons out of the way, or like what is going on? You have full triggers, then you have full buttons, and that's crazy to me. Now, one of the things with this, because it follows more of a standard kind of layout, is this does not have a switch button layout. And what I mean by that is if you are looking at this right here, you'll see it's got A, B, X, Y. On a switch, it's actually B, A, Y, X. So it works, it's just you have to get over that kind of visual block of, oh, wait, the buttons are actually backwards because of Nintendo. But it operates the same for anything else, which is what you would expect. It's got a nice little home button right here, which acts as your home button for various things. It's got a share button, it's got a brightness button, you have your plus and minus for switch right here, and then you have your bumpers, your triggers, your sticks, everything else that you would expect. But one of the really nice things about this is the RGB. Now, normally I don't really care about RGB on a controller. I will often actually turn it off. This one, you can't turn it off, but it is very subtle and not overpowering. Let's go ahead and turn this on really quick. We'll hit that button, and as you can see, it's very subtle. It's very muted. It is not overpowering or anything like that. We'll show you in this camera right here. It's nice. It's a nice bit of color. If you're playing at night or like in the dark or anything like that, it is a good little bit of color in there, and it's awesome. Now, one of the other really cool things that this has is actually a mute button built into it, which is very nice. That way you can just mute your audio, you're good to go. But this also does have USB charging. You can use it wireless or wired. And as I said before, it is 2.4, but also Bluetooth. So you can basically connect to anything that you want to connect to, and it just works. Now, on the back here, you do have Bluetooth mode, you do have the dongle mode, and then right in the middle, you have Nintendo Switch mode. And one of the things that is really nice, that is not very common in third-party controllers, this actually has wake from sleep. What that means is you do not have to turn your Switch on and then the controller for it to be able to recognize it. You actually just hit the button and it will go in and connect to your Switch controller and turn it on. Now, one of the other really cool things that this has is its rumble feature. Now, not all third-party controllers have rumble, and honestly, I forgot that the OEM Nintendo Switch Pro controller even had rumble because it's so light and so faint that you can barely feel it. This has a rumble to write home about. The rumble in this is absolutely amazing, and I would say it's probably at least 10 to 15 times more powerful than the actual Switch OEM Pro controller. And what that means is it's not overpowering in your hands or anything, but you really feel the gameplay, and it's really nice. Like, I never really care or notice rumble that much, but with this, I really noticed it, and honestly, it made games more immersive, and it was really cool. But that's everything about the controller overall. Now, my couple of complaints that I have before we actually dive in and take a look at the guts of this thing, and like I said, they are minor complaints, and they're probably just more personal to me, honestly. It feels like, and I haven't measured or anything like that, but it feels like this controller is just a hair smaller than something like the Pro controller. I have really large hands, so I like a big controller. And this feels just a hair smaller. Now, the other thing is its weight. I also personally enjoy a really heavy controller, like the Elite controller for the Xbox. That's got a really heavy weight to it, and I enjoy that. This, it feels light. It feels maybe the same or a little bit lighter than a Switch Pro controller. And again, it's just a personal thing. It doesn't feel cheap or anything like that. It's definitely durable and sturdy feeling. It just feels light in its weight. Now, the final thing, again, is not a knock on the controller or on Nixie, the company, or anything like that. It's the button layout. And like I said in the beginning of the video, you get used to it, but it is a little weird having A, B, X, Y when you're playing on Switch, and it should be B, A, Y, X. So that took a minute to get used to, but honestly, now that I'm used to it, I don't even notice it. So again, personal gripes, but overall, I don't really have any actual complaints about this controller. I am very curious what the little line adapter things are for on this, because I don't know what they do, and I haven't seen anything about it, but I mean, this controller is amazing. If you have ever used a Nixie controller, I believe the GameCube one is the really popular one that they came out with first, but this one right here, the Master P1, this is a great controller. Now, I didn't say it in the beginning of the video, I'll throw it in here now. They did send this to me for free to be able to check out and to be able to share my thoughts with all of you, but I was very upfront with them and told them that anytime I do a review, I'm going to be critical of it. If there is something wrong, I'm going to tell you all about it. If there is something good, I'm going to tell you all about it, because a review should be honest. It doesn't matter if it damages a relationship with a company or anything like that and they don't want to send me stuff anymore. I don't care. I would rather give you guys an honest review. And honestly, this controller's awesome, and really my only complaints were the ones that I just mentioned. Other than that, I've been using this exclusively compared to my Pro controller, and I really like this controller. This controller's awesome, and the fact that I can use it on a bunch of other stuff, I mean, that's just a bonus. So for this next part of the video, what we're gonna do is go ahead and take this apart, and I really wanna know, what are they doing to go from analog to clicky? Because that's weird, and I wanna know how it's done. So let's go ahead and we're gonna go to the top-down cam. We're gonna get this all cracked open and see what we can see. Okay, so I was going to try and show you the insides of this controller, mainly because I really wanna see what's going on with these triggers and how they can go from analog to clicky button. The problem is I can't figure out how to open it. I found a couple screws here on the back. When I took them off and then tried to pry stuff, nothing else would happen. I don't know how to take this apart, and I don't want to break it. It's the only one that I got. But I'm just gonna say it's witchcraft for now. They're using some sort of wizardry to go from nice, smooth, analog triggers to clicky button triggers. It's very cool, I like it. But yeah, I can't show you the inside because I don't know how to open it. But yeah, I guess that's the end of this video. This is a really cool controller. Thank you to Nixie for sending it out to me. That way I could check it out. This is permanently in my controller rotation now. And yeah, if anyone wants to pick one up for themselves, I will put something down in the description below. And if you want to see another recent video, then go ahead and check out this area right here. And as always, I'm Game Dad. I thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you later.